Hi, Tracy Lewis from Stuff and Things. I am here today to give you a close-up of what comes in the Tranquil Textures Sprinkles package. I have found it to be very useful for a number of different types of projects. I have just been using it on Rooted in Nature because what you probably can't tell is that it has a lot of little pebbles that are very cute. So this is what the mix looks like. I've used it in a lot of projects, probably 6, if not more, maybe 8 or so projects. I've gone through and picked things out that I like. So I'm going to actually take them out and show you the different things that are in it up close. What I probably use the least of are the seed beads. So here's the seed beads that you get. I do use them when I make a Sea of Textures project. Then there's 2 different blues. There's the darker, pretty dark, like Tranquil Tide colored, and these are seed beads as well. Then you have Night of Navy, and it's actually a little bit more of a cobalt blue than Night of Navy. So those little pebbles are dark blue. They are great to pick out, and I make sure if I do a mix of 3 or 4 on a, and how the tactic that I use for putting these on a project, I will even show you how I do that because it's pretty cool. Very easy. I saw it on a video at some point early on when I was doing the pre-order views of the various products. And what I'm doing here while we're talking is pulling out the different little mini pebbles. So you can see that now we've got the navy blue, or kind of the cobalt blue if you see it in person, but it looks really striking on the Sea of Textures with octopus, and it's a beautiful color. Then we're getting into the pebbles of the various colors. They look to me like natural pebbles. This actually, believe it or not, there is a piece of like amethyst glass just out of the blue. So you can go through this packaging and pick through for a project very specific items that you want. I come from a background of making jewelry, so some people might laugh at me. You might be watching this video and you're snickering going, there is no way I'm going to spend the time to pick apart the Tranquil Textures sprinkles. That's just way too much work. But for me, I find that I can take these little piles. So here's the natural stones. Here is the teal colored seed beads, white colored seed beads, and then the navy and cobalt blue colored stones, which there are quite a few. There's even more. So you can just keep digging. You could take this, and if you really wanted to be particular about it, if you have little tiny baggies, you could separate these all. In another time, I would have separated them all into little baggies so that I could very specifically pull out what I want. Here's a clear piece of glass. So I just want everyone to know that there is a lot of variability in the sprinkles container, and you will get tons of miles out of it. How I will get my, here it is. I'm going to get out my mini dots and show you how I apply this to a project. So this is a piece of paper that I used for stamping, and let's just say that this is a project. And we grab, I use a poker tool. So if you wanted to say grab, I'm pulling out what I want to grab specifically, and I do actually do this, like in order to get the pebble look that I wanted, I arranged my pebbles where I wanted them. see I am off the page here, so I'm going to move my pile that I want. So those are the ones that I'm after to put on a project. So I take my dot and I apply the dot kind of in the middle till I pick everything up. So now I have everything picked up. I flip it over and I will lay it down on my project. So now if you feel these, they're down. They're not, oops, I didn't even get to show you because my screen is so small. So let's do this again. Okay. So in order to make a project, I pull my piles out and I make the arrangement that I want, because I'm kind of down to that picky level of I really want these certain colors represented in my pile. Here's my project and I want to put them on the white somewhere up at the top. So I grab my dot with my poker tool. I flip it so that when I go down on the 4 stones I want, there we go, everything is picked up. I have flipped it back over the other way. I hold it down and just press, and they are attached. They're not going anywhere. So the mini dots are the way to go to get these to adhere. I'll do one more. So let's say my next area that I want to focus on, and I do these small, when you have the sea of textures and you have the starfish and the sand dollars and the little corals, I want certain colors to be emphasized and make it balanced. So I will pick my colors, and again, I'm making sure that the mini dot collects up what I want. There they are. They have been added. Then I flip it over. I'm watching to see if they fall off, but these dots are pretty darn sticky. So there you go. That's how you could very nicely arrange exactly what you want. I've done long skinny lines with using mono glue. The glue dots are good for small clusters. So if we look at my project, this ended up being a little longer than I thought it would be. You can see here where I collected up these stones, a very specific set of colors, and picked them up with my dot, flipped it over, and then applied them right here on the corner. Here's another little cluster. And not, you want to vary it. So in this case I have 2 individual dots, or pebbles I guess I'd call them. 2 individual pebbles just arranged, and then some clusters to make it look somewhat natural. And yet, of course, I need it a little bit orderly as well. So hopefully you found this helpful and are enjoying the 2018 Creators Blog Hop today. And thanks for watching.